Do you need a microphone for me?
No.
That's what I thought. Can you all see me?
Yeah. Go a bit.
Yeah.
Hard to miss.
I give talks at lots of groups, and there's always one question everybody asks me, so I'll give you the answer. 6'7".
Thank you. That was my guess.
Right. Well, what Ken asked me to talk about was some of my distant relatives, to be fair, who went to Australia, who I've been in contact with. Right? So here we go. So, I descend from a number of Swanbourne families, mainly the Gurnett family, the Alderman family, and I'm going to tell you about some of the Aldermans. First one, a chap called Thomas Alderman, and he was transported. So I'll give you a bit of a story. He was born in 1782, the fifth of 7 children of Richard and Anne Alderman. Richard and Anne Alderman are the first 2 people called Alderman in the village, who came in the 1700s. They were still, there's a North Bucks family that we traced it back to about the 1600s, but they were the first man called Alderman in the village. And he had 7 children, Thomas, and he married, so they married in 1773. Thomas was a labourer, he married a lady called Hannah Phillips, and they had twin sons, and then they moved to London, I guess for work, I presume. And I found the christenings in London. And then they returned back to Swanbourne, and then they've got another child since 1816. But then, in May 1816, Thomas Alderman, with his friends, presumably, Joseph Cooper of Winslow, William Stevens of Bramburgh, they stole a wether sheep, which belonged to Joseph and Matthew Robinson of Winslow. This is all in the court records, it's all recorded.
What's a weather tree? As opposed to any other tree?
It's a neutered ram lamb, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah.
Any farmers in the house?
Yeah. A castrated ram lamb. Now, what we don't know is this the first offence, or have they done a lot of it? And this is the only one they got caught on. So I wonder these things that we don't know. But anyway, this is all in the court records, but maybe they've done a lot of it, I don't know. Anyway, they appear in court, and it all goes, they're found guilty, and Thomas Alderman and Joseph Cooper are sentenced to death. Which seems a bit harsh for stealing.
You might as well
a
be
sheep.
hung for a sheep as a lamb.
And it reminds me of I had a great uncle Fred Gurnett who told me a poem. I think I've forgotten it, but it went something like, they hung the man who stole the sheep from the common, but they let off the man that stole the common from under the sheep. Something like that. Something about Uncle Fred. It was better than that. But basically the idea was the common man that nicks the sheep gets done, but the rich people that steal the land get away with it. That was the idea. Anyway. They were then given a conditional pardon. I don't know why. And the sentence was commuted to transportation for 7 years. Which is a lot better than death. But still, 7 years to Australia for stealing a sheep, still a bit harsh, but that's what it was like, wasn't it? And they got on the SS Morley, and it was a convict ship, 175 men on it, sailed by Tenerife, Rio de Janeiro, Cape Town, it was a massive trip, and arrived in Sydney 1817. And on the ship's manifest, Thomas is described as a horse dealer, aged 34, 5'6", fair complexion, light eyes, dark hair. And my question for you is, was this the first person from Swanbourne to go to Australia?
Probably.
Okay. And maybe, if he was a horse dealer, maybe that explains why he was going in and out of London. Maybe he was dealing, because in those days, horses were the main mode of transport, and maybe they were breeding them and selling them in London. I don't know. Just a thought. So, life in Australia. 1817, he gets a job as a carter at a government house. He's granted his petition for a ticket of leave to earn a comfortable living by his own industry. So in effect, he's kind of free after 2 years, and then he's working as a servant, and he's confirmed free by servitude. So he's gone out for 7 years, but actually after 5 years, he's considered free. But he could have been free to come home to Swanbourne, but maybe he couldn't have afforded it. He's got a wife and kids, poor lady, got all those kids, hasn't got a husband to earn the money. And we find him working as a gardener in Sydney, and then as a labourer in 1828. Meanwhile, if you go and look at his wife, in the census for Swanbourne, 1851 and 1861, she's calling herself a widow whilst he's still alive, because he dies in 1863. And what I wonder is, the letters have stopped coming, and she thinks he must be dead. I don't know. Why else would you call yourself a widow if you didn't think you were? She hasn't remarried, it's not because she wants to remarry. She stays on her own. So anyway, he's gone out. I'm guessing he couldn't afford to come home. He stopped writing home, and she thinks she's a widow. So it's a really sad story, just for stealing a sheep, unless he stole a lot more. So meanwhile, in England, one of his sons, Robert, he's got a lot of children, but one of his sons, Robert, gets married in Mersley and has a son, Ephraim, who's born in Swanbourne. And he goes out to Australia as well. So I've done a little family tree thing. There's Thomas Alderman, Hannah Phillips. They're his children. They've all got children as well, but this grandson goes out to Australia. So here we are. So he seems to be called Abraham Ephraim, known as Ephraim, and he's on assisted passage in 1855. And he leaves Lancashire. I guess that's where the ship left. He arrives in 1855. Now, on the ship list, this particular one had a question, relations in the colony. And he's put a cousin, Charles Alderman. He hasn't put Grampy. And the cousin is actually a second cousin, so it's not even an immediately close cousin, it's a second cousin. So it seems like he must have been getting letters, the family's been getting letters from a second cousin, who maybe says, come out to Australia, it's good, and then he thinks his Grampy's dead. Otherwise he'd have put Grampy, wouldn't he, as his relative, you would have thought, wouldn't you? So he doesn't mention his Grampy at all, because I think he believes he's dead. His granny said he's died. Now at that time, he's in Sydney, has a population of about 50,000. I wonder, did he meet his Grampy? So he turns up, my name's Ephraim Alderman, or there's another man called Alderman over there, why don't you go and see him? I don't know. It could happen, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And that'd be a bit of a shock, you're right, so, I don't know. I wonder about these things. Not that it gets me anywhere, but there we are. So, where are we? So Ephraim arrives 1855, and he's just outside Sydney in a place called Parramatta. And he has 9 children, and his descendants still live in New South Wales to this day. Did he meet his Grampy? Don't know. But then I was thinking, okay, on the ship list he's put a cousin Charles Alderman. So I thought, who's he? And he's immigrated in 1855 as well. So we go back on the Alderman family. The Alderman family is enormous, so I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs of that. But basically, there was a man called William Alderman, married a lady called Elizabeth Sleemaker, and they had lots and lots of children. But they had 2 daughters who both had illegitimate children. So Martha had a son, Charles Alderman, and Jane has a son, William Alderman. And Martha Alderman, after the birth of her illegitimate child, marries a man called William Crenwell, and they have a daughter, Anne Crenwell. So she's not an alderman until she marries her cousin. And then she becomes an alderman.
Right? Not a bit about.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, so the descendants of these people live in Australia to this day. So the descendants of Charles Alderman and William and Anne Crenwell, whose mother was an alderman. So here we are, Charles Alderman. Illegitimate son of Martha Alderman, daughter of William Alderman, and his mother dies in 1829. Maybe he doesn't know who his father is, don't know, so he's probably feeling a bit on his own. He marries a lady from Winslow and they have these children. 1854, went to Australia on the Samuel Boddington. There seemed to be a big group of people from Swanbourne going on this ship. And what I found out is that the agent for that ship lived in Winslow. I'll show you that. Anyway, they have a son, William, who's born on the ship. Because some people would go, they'd be pregnant, and children, people would die and be born on these ships. And so his descendants live in New South Wales to this day. So then his half-sister, Anne Cranwell, she marries her cousin, William Alderman, who's also an illegitimate alderman. They have 3 children, emigrate to Australia the year after he goes, which is 1856, and his half-sister dies on the ship, which is really sad. So they settle in Goolgong, New South Wales, not far from Sydney, and William Alderman later remarried and had more children, and their descendants live in that area to this day. And in fact, there's a photograph, William Alderman, who died at Goolgong. And so they live there to this day. So any questions on that?
No.
Is that name Cranwell effeminate? Yeah.
Greenwell.
Yeah.
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 I'm just not sure I got that.
I shall. You can have all this. This on the map.
Yes, I've got it, thank you. Yes,
You
I
can
got
have
it
it.
earlier.
I can send you all this stuff. Yeah.
Thank you, yeah. Don't remember that Cranwell name.
Oh, no, because it's not Cranwell, is it?
Well, I
Because
don't
she's
know.
Anne Alderman on the ship list. Because she's married.
Yes, and she dies, doesn't she?
And then she dies.
Yeah.
She dies as Anne Alderman.
Yeah.
Very confusing, because her mum was an alderman. And then she
Married.
Yeah, yeah.
married an alderman.
Married.
But they're not aldermen on the male line because they're illegitimate. But
Yeah.
we don't know. It's the alderman surname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Ready for the go-nets?
Yeah.
So you probably know this, but my mum, her maiden name was Gurnet. Right, and my family, Gurnets, have lived in Swanbourne